Hello, guys. Good morning. Good evening. This is Umakant, your life coach. Today, I'm just going to tell us about a story, okay, of a Brahmana. Was a Brahmana who was reciting the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, and each and every day he used to sit under a tree in a village, and he used to recite Bhagavad Gita, shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. And people used to come in the evening, and all the villagers used to pray him a lot, because they used to respect him a lot, because he used to recite the shlokas from Bhagavad Gita, and at the same time he used to tell the meaning of the same. So the recital of Bhagavad Gita, it is very auspicious. Now my daughters Veda Shruti and Shrutakirti are going to recite this Bhagavad Gita. After that, I'll continue the story. Only one shloka, so don't go away. So first my daughter Shrutakirti will tell the shloka, and then Veda Shruti will tell. Shrutakirti, come on, please tell the shloka.
दैवम् एवापरे यज्ञम् योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्मज्ञवपरे यज्ञा यज्ञनैवोपजुह्वति.
Now Veda will tell.
Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punarjogam cha shamsasi yachreya yetayo yekam tanme bruhi shunishitam.
Yeah, thank you. So my daughters, as my daughters are reciting in the same fashion, this Brahmana was reciting this shlokas. So every day people used to come, and at the end of this recital of Bhagavad Gita, they used to pay him some minor amount. By using this amount, he used to have his livelihood. Okay. So once his wife tells him, you're reciting Bhagavad Gita, why don't you go to a king's palace, wherein you get a lot of money at a time. And by doing this day in and day out, I don't think you're getting proper money, so that our livelihood will be fulfilled. So he thinks, I should go to a king's palace, and I should continue this kind of recital of Bhagavad Gita there. So on the next day, what he does is, he goes to the king's palace, and there he started reciting Bhagavad Gita. So the first shloka which he tells them, at the time the king tells him, "Oh Brahmana, please recite this Bhagavad Gita." So the first shloka which he tells is, "Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham." So when he recites this shloka in front of this king, the king tells him, "Do you know the meaning of this shloka?" So he tells, "Yes, king. Why not? I know the meaning of this shloka. It means that at all times, if one remembers the God, okay, at all times and in every situation, if one is able to remember God, he will take care of his needs." Okay. So this is actually the meaning. He will take care of his needs. Maybe good, maybe bad. Whatever the needs are there of a person will be fulfilled if one has dedicated his life to Lord Krishna. So this Brahmana was actually very happy that he was able to tell this meaning to this king. But the king asked one more thing once again. He asked him, "Do you know the real meaning of this?" So he was surprised. Why this king is asking me? I am a pandit, and I know everything. And this king is asking me what is the real meaning of it. Do you understand the real meaning of it? He asked this Brahmana. So Brahmana tells, "Yes, I understand the real meaning of it." So he tells, "Go back home and come tomorrow and try to investigate what is the real meaning of it." Okay. So this Brahmana goes back home, and he speaks to, he had a discussion with his wife. He tells that, "I have been reciting this sloka, Ananyashintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam." And I told the same exact meaning what is written in Bhagavad Gita. But the king asked me, "Do you know the real meaning of it?" But I'm just quite surprised, and I'm just astonished why the king is asking me the real meaning of it, because I know the real meaning, and this is only the real meaning of it. And how come this king is asking me to come back to, to find out the real meaning? So the wife tells that, you are telling that if you are reciting Bhagavad Gita, and if you are taking the name of Lord every time, so he will take care of your needs. But at the same time, you are going to the king's palace, and you are asking him for money to take care of your livelihood. So how far you are living it? The wife of Brahmana tells, how far you are living it. You are just reciting just like a book or a tape recorder. But this is not what the king wants. He wants that the person who is reciting Bhagavad Gita should live in complete surrender to God. So this you are not doing, but you are just reciting the shloka, and this does not make any difference, because anybody can do it. Anybody can recite it, like I can also recite the shloka. But if I am not able to live by shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, I don't think that I am living this shloka. So now this Pandit, this Pujari understands that he is not living by the shloka, and he next day he does not go there, okay, and he just recites the name of the Lord. And now the king understands that this Pandit got the real meaning of Bhagavad Gita, and he sends all that is required for the Pandit for his livelihood. So this is what I mean to say, this is what I mean to convey the message to you all, that we recite Bhagavad Gita, we recite the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. People know Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Kriya Yoga, everything people know, but it is not just reciting the Bhagavad Gita. If you just live by any of the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, then that is the real living, what we call as. If you're not able to live by the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, it is just like, I'm like a tape recorder, and my life is not actually a real example of a living Bhagavad Gita. So this is a message of myself to you all, that, if I'm telling you I'm living by Bhagavad Gita, you can see that, my kids are reciting Bhagavad Gita, and they know it very well. They know the meaning of it, and we always try that my children are living by the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. I don't want them to just recite the shlokas. I just want them to also follow what is said in Bhagavad Gita. Do you agree to my point?
Yes.
Do you live by Bhagavad Gita?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, this is what we should expect from our children, and this is what you have to teach your children, to live by Bhagavad Gita and not just to recite this Bhagavad Gita. So see you guys. This is Umakant. I'm just on a drive. We have been out for some time, and I'm just discussing with my family about the importance of Bhagavad Gita, and on the way we have to go back and again catch up. So see you friends, and we'll catch up in the next great topic like this. Bye. Have a nice day.